Another day, another dam. G'day folks, today I'm putting some yabby nets in a dam that I've never been yabbying in before. Hey you! You're watching Robbie Fishing. Now this is a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a bit of yabby recon, because I don't know what to expect. If I put my yabby nets in here and then catch heaps of yabbies, well I might come back for some more adventures. The best way to perform some kind of reconnaissance is to use a bait trap. I've got my homemade bait traps, which are made within the size specifications according to the Victorian Fisheries Guidelines. The collapsible bait traps are another good option because they're traps, set and forget style traps. You can put them in, leave them in, come back later on tonight or tomorrow and check them and see if there's any yabbies. If there's heaps of yabbies, then I might come back here with some open top lift nets and do some active yabbying where I check them every hour or so. They've got a good sign just here. That is definitely a yabby hole. So if there's one yabby hole, there should be more. The water's nice and dirty. I love yabbying in dams with this really dirty sandy water. I think this dam's got a lot going for it. Let's get the nets in. Now this is my bait. You can't even see what it is. It's that wrapped up in Glad wrap. It's some fish offcuts. I think it's some redfin actually. Is it redfin or trout? It's been in the freezer for a while. I might even be a yellow belly. I caught a nice yellow belly recently. It is too. It's some yellow belly bits and pieces. I caught that yellow belly in Horseshoe Lagoon a while back. I don't know, it wouldn't be that one because I'm trying to work out which fish it is. Hang on, it's definitely a yellow belly. Where did I keep a yellow belly from? It's definitely a yellow belly. I can't even remember which yellow belly it is. You can see I filleted the yellow belly. I would have cooked the fillets, probably in egg and breadcrumbs or something, and these are the offcuts. So I'm going to put these fish offcuts, as yellow belly offcuts, in my traps and put them in the water. I can't for the life of me remember where I caught this yellow belly. The one that I caught at Horseshoe Lagoon, I cooked that whole. The one that I caught at Tokamall, I gave that to the old fella that was camped near where I was fishing. I can't remember where I got this one. It's a nice fish wherever I got it. Right, net number one, and I just remembered where I got the yellow belly from. I caught it in the Lower Ovens River. I think it was back in August. I fished all afternoon and I didn't catch anything, and then right on dark I caught a nice yellow belly. I remember it now. Well, net number two can go out there. There's a few holes in the mud down here. That's a nice yabby hole. This is encouraging, very encouraging. Right, the nets are in. It's time to set and forget. I'm going away now. Hopefully I can get time to come back later on this evening and check them. If not, I'll check them tomorrow. But I've got a good feeling about this dam. It's ticking all the boxes. The water's a nice sandy, muddy colour. There's a few holes around the edges. It's looking good. There was just a big swirl just there, and the water's quite muddy just there. I wonder if there's a few carp in here. Anyway, I've come back to check these nets. It's been about 3 hours. Now I've got a good feeling about this, and that's why I've brought my yabby bucket with me. Right, what have we got? Nothing yet. A bit disappointing. Oh, there is one in there. Look, there's one. I was sort of hoping there might be a couple in here to give me a sign. I'm not expecting too much until overnight. I reckon overnight's going to be better. But I've got one, so that's a good sign. If I can open my own little design here. Right. These nets aren't rapid acting nets. They don't catch heaps of yabbies really quickly. But I've got one. So if there's one, there'll be more. He's a bit small. I'm after some big ones that I can eat because I love eating yabbies. Alright, and that can go back in and can stay there for the night. That's a good sign. I'm on the board. Just about to check net number two. I've spotted this old claw on the bank. So the dam certainly has potential. Right, what's in this dam? Yes! There's a few in here. Oh wow! Yes! There's 4 in there and 2 of them are a good size. I'm going to take those 2 bigger ones home with me in this bucket. I knew it. They're not huge. They're not huge, but they're certainly big enough. There's 1 small one, 2 quite large ones, and 1 medium one. Oh, I can't wait to see what this has got in the morning. There's a little bait size yabby. He can go back in the drink. I have to tip these ones out this way. These 2 are certainly big enough to eat. Look, once again, they're not monsters, but they're big enough. And this one here can go back. And put my bait back in the nets, then put mine on the net, then put the net back in. Righto, I'm excited. Put the net back in for the night. Right, so the first check, I've caught 5, I've kept 2. Oh shit, take that out. Righto, I'm off to a terrific start. The first check of the nets, I've caught 5, keeping 2 and putting 3 back. The 2 I've kept, they're not the biggest yabbies I've ever caught, but they're certainly big enough to keep. If I can get a dozen of them during the night, I'll be happy. Wow, what a difference a day makes. Well, not even a day. Probably 13 hours, 12 or 13 hours. The sun was out, the sun was setting, it was warm. This morning it's 12 degrees and raining. Anyway, I can't wait to see what's in these nets, so let's go and check them. I reckon there's going to be a lot of yabbies in here. I reckon there'll be at least a dozen. Oh, look. Not as many as I thought, but there's some big ones. Look at that, you beauty. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7, and a couple of them are quite large yabbies. Beauty. Remember, I've already got 2 big ones in the bucket. I've got 2 big. I'm not filming a catch and cook, but I am going to cook a few yabbies for a feed. So that's a nice size yabby. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7. Well, I'll put that one back. I've got 7 in the bucket. I'm going to put these 3 back. And I'll throw these offcuts and stuff, this bait back in the water to fatten up the remaining yabbies. Rightio, so I've got 7 yabbies in the bucket. Can I add to my tally? Oh yes I can. Not as many as I thought. That one's on the outside. You stupid yabby, why didn't you just let go? Look, he's just on the outside. He's eating the meat from the outside. There's not as many big ones in there as I'd like. I'll throw him in, he's not huge. I've got 7. A lot of people tell me, and they're so right, they're so true, that I'd catch more yabbies if I suspended the bait in the middle of the net, and I would. Because that'd stop them from sneakily eating the meat from the outside like that one was. I've just got to get around to rigging something up. So there's 8 in the net. There's quite a lot of yabbies in there. 8 in the bucket, I mean. 9, 10, 11, 12. He's not very big. Let's see how many I throw. I've got 12 in there. These ones I'm throwing back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ow, ow, ow. 6, 7, 8. Nice little bait yabbies. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I threw back 14. What did I keep? 3 or 4? I've lost count. There was 18 or 19 yabbies in that net then anyway. So that's very successful. Well, this was a very successful yabby recon mission. Yabby reconnaissance mission. I've got myself a nice feed of yabbies there. I've thrown a heap of small ones back. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning, so now I'm going to go home, have some breakfast and have a shower and start my day. Or edit this video. Thank you all very much for watching.